Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the hashtag Ask Martin GK show. Our Monday show is back once again. I've got a special guest this evening. I'm going to be joined by a ladies goalkeeper this evening, Lauren Bracewell. She is the captain for Burnley ladies, and she'll be joining me in around 5 to 10 minutes time. So super excited to her joining me. So that's going to an exciting interview coming up. It's been very busy here at AB1 HQ. There's loads of products still going out the door, which is fantastic, and all orders and everything is as normal at the HQ here in England. I'm going to take a look back at the weekend roundup and see what the AB1 endorsees have been up to. Angus Gunn, he's returned to action for Stoke City for the first time since November, and he has made an impact straight away for his side. A 10-man Stoke City captured a point at Huddersfield Town's John Smith Stadium at the weekend. Angus's second half save proved crucial for them. Great to see Angus back in action for Stoke City. Poor form has continued for AFC Bournemouth though. The Cherries visited Reading with a Friday night kickoff, and it was a bit of a nightmare really. They conceded 3 goals in around 20 minutes, leaving Asmir Begovic and his teammates in a difficult position. It's 3 defeats in a row for AFC Bournemouth, but they are back in action tomorrow night. It was a difficult weekend for Ryan Alsop as well, and Wycombe Wanderers. They were bottom of the league with 15 points going into their weekend's game. They do have 3 games in hand, and they lost to Brentford, unfortunately. It was a tough afternoon for them. It was a solid first half though, in which ended with an equaliser for Wycombe, but in the second half they conceded 5 goals and it ended up 7-2. In League One, George Long, he is in great form wearing his AB1 gloves. They defeated Swindon Town at home 1-0 and keeps them top of the table. James Belshaw, he was in excellent form once again for Harrogate Town. They beat Newport County 2-1, and that was in League 2. That wraps up everything that the AB1 goalkeepers have been up to in the elite football this weekend. Like I say, got Lauren joining me shortly, and we have an announcement to make. AB1 GK have a brand new endorsee that has been announced today. Tim Keeps is going to be wearing AB1 GK. He's going to be on the show with me. We're going to do a special edition with Tim. He can't do Monday nights, so he is kindly going to join me tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. It's an interview session only. So 7 p.m. here on Instagram, and Tim is going to be joining me. He's an awesome goalkeeper, plays for Luxembourg, and he represents his country, so it'd be great to have a chat with him. I'm now going to pop my headphones in because I believe Lauren is ready to join me, and we are going to have a chat about ladies football and talk about the FC ladies. Just waiting for the connection with Lauren. Hey Lauren, how you doing?
Hi Martin, you alright?
I'm really well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show this evening.
Yeah, no worries at all.
It's great to have a lady on as well. We had Shannon Lynn on the back end of last year, and it was great to talk about women's football because it's made such great strides within the last few years.
Oh, massive, yeah.
I want to learn a bit about your career, then we'll get into ladies football. Tell our viewers a bit about you, Lauren. You're playing at Burnley FC ladies. You're the captain, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so captain, goalkeeper. I've been at Burnley since 2017. I actually started my career off at Burnley back in, I think I was under 12, so around about 10. So I started playing football at school, went to a party, believe it or not, at Burnley FC.
Yeah.
And ended up playing for the girls team there. Stayed there till I was about 16. And then went off to various clubs. So I went to the rivals Blackburn for a bit, then Rochdale, Curzon. I've been to Preston, North End. I've been everywhere really, and then yeah, back in 2017, rejoined Burnley, and plan on staying here for a long time.
Yeah, you enjoying it?
Yeah, loving it, to be honest with you. I live in Burnley as well. I support Burnley, so really playing for Burnley it's part and parcel of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, proud time for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go back to the start, Lauren. I'm intrigued to know where it all started for you. When was it you kind of fell in love with football? You wanted to play football. What sort of age were you sort of taken by football?
Um, it was back in primary school. I played. I didn't play in net back then. I played outfield, and we didn't have a women's team at the time either. So I just played around with the lads and ended up playing for the lads team, and then we got a women's team together in primary school. So like, it was. I mean, I've never really heard of that back then, but fell in love with it then.
Yeah.
I played as a defender, played in midfield, played as a striker. I played
Wow.
everywhere, and it was only until when I was playing under 16s football for Burnley is when I went in net, and it was purely out of laziness a little bit, really. I got to that age where I kind of was thinking about stopping playing. There were other interests elsewhere, and they just said, "Why don't you try in net?" And I thought, yeah, why not? And found out we were pretty good at
Yeah.
it.
Do you remember the first pair of gloves you pulled on?
It were a pair of cells actually, and they were quite expensive. I remember my mum and dad thinking, "Oh, blooming heck, these gloves are expensive."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were just roll finger cells.
Yeah.
They were the go-to glove back then, I think.
Mm.
Just pulled on a pair of them, and yeah, didn't
And that
really
was it.
change for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were up and away, and
yeah, exactly.
your career developed fairly quickly by the looks of things. Um, at what stage did you sort of really start to develop as a goalkeeper? Obviously, you go through a lot of work as a goalkeeper. Did you start to work with a coach or anyone specific to sort of develop your game?
Probably, yeah. It wasn't until I'd say about 15 or 16 I started working with the goalkeeper coach. We had a bit of. It wasn't like an actual goalkeeper coach. I think it was one of the ladies' brothers or something who came down and started doing a little bit with me, which helped. And
Mm.
then it wasn't until I moved to Blackburn is when we got an actual goalkeeper coach. They were a bit more well established in the women's game with Blackburn at the time. I mean, they very much are now as well. But yeah, that's when I started working with a goalkeeper coach at Blackburn and started really developing. So going on 16, 17 is when I started developing more. I think a goalkeeper coach is absolutely vital for especially kids nowadays going through the academy system and stuff. They need to develop with a goalkeeper coach. It's not good enough in a way to just practice with the team, shot stopping and things. You need to stay with the goalkeeper coach.
The role of the keeper's changed so much, doesn't it now? It's so different to what it was 10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they focus more on with your feet nowadays as a goalkeeper rather than like it's a massive part is the shot stopping and stuff. But yeah, it's the distribution side of the game as well.
What's your standout game since you've been playing? Is there a particular standout game for you or moment that just will live with you forever?
Um, I mean, the promotions, we've had back-to-back promotions. So 2017-18 and 2018-19, we got promoted twice on the trot, which was amazing. But
Brilliant.
probably we had our best FA Cup run as well. I think it was last season. With the COVID stuff, you kind of forget what season you're in.
Yeah, it all rolls
And
into one, doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So Leicester, I feel like that was the game. We lost actually 3-0, but for myself, I felt like I played at one of my best games ever then.
Brilliant. The FA Cup. You talk about the Women's FA Cup. I think I said to you on the phone earlier.
I didn't realise how good the ladies' football was until I watched the FA Cup final last year. I watched Man City and Everton, and
Yeah.
the standard is just it's improved vastly, isn't it? The last
Oh,
few
massively,
years.
yeah. I don't think people have realised until it's got more coverage on TV. Like a lot of people have thought, oh yeah, the women's game is super slow and boring, but it's really getting there. It's getting alongside the men's game. I feel like there's not as much diving about and things like that. We just crack on and
Yeah,
yeah, it's a hard fought game, is the women's game.
there's some real talent. I know just so much talent, especially in the Man City side. There's some wonderful players, and
Oh yeah.
the skill on show was just brilliant.
Oh yeah, amazing. I think it's helped from the Euros, the women's Euros, and the women's World Cup back in 2019. I think that's added a lot of, well, it's helped the game a lot. So England, I think they got to the semi-finals against the USA in the World Cup. We lost 2-1, but it was the coverage for that was amazing. It just showed the passion and fight that the women had in that, and yeah, some unreal displays.
Yeah, it's great to see it growing so well, and it's going to continue to grow, isn't it? Like you say, it's getting more and more coverage. So certainly on terrestrial TV as well. It just gives
Yeah.
an opportunity to show it to so many more people.
Yeah, it does. I think it's helped as well with Man United introducing their women's team as well. I think they held off for a long time on the women's team, but I think it was back in 2018 they introduced the women's team in the Championship, and then they've gone back. They've got promoted into the Super League, and there's a lot of coverage on them at the moment. So it helps that obviously United, the biggest team in the world, or one of the biggest teams in the world, now has a women's team.
Yeah, it's really important. So how closely knitted together is the Burnley FC ladies team and the actual club? Is it all a part of Burnley FC?
At the moment, we're under the community, so Burnley FC in the community.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's happening going forward, but yeah, at the moment it's very close, but we are Burnley FC women, but under the community side of things.
Is there a particular ground that you've been to and played at that's just really stood out for you? Is there a particular venue that you've been to and think, wow?
I played in it was like a tournament at Leicester's ground, and that's probably the biggest ground I've played at.
What was it?
That was
Was it good?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
The pitch is incredible there, isn't it? It's probably one of the
Yeah.
best pitches within the Premier League, you would say.
Oh
Now.
gosh, yeah, it was an incredible experience. In our league now, some of the best facilities I've played at are Loughborough. So Loughborough play at the university, and they've got some great facilities, great playing surface. And I think it was Sunderland as well. They play at the training ground, and it's unreal.
I bet it's awesome. We've got loads of people joining us, Lauren. There's loads jumping on, which is brilliant. Loads of regular viewers as well. Hey, Lauren, up the Clarets. Can't wait to come and watch the ladies again. That's from that. We've also got. This is a good question. Would you say playing outfield has helped with your distribution? You were saying that you played outfield for a while.
Possibly, yeah. I'd probably say that's one of the weaker parts of my game is my distribution side of things. I shouldn't really be saying that, but yeah, it probably has in a way. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. There's loads more people joining us. Evening safe hands from Robert Thomas. That is. Any other questions, guys? Make sure you keep sending those in. We'll be here for a little while longer as well. Regards to training, Lauren, is there anything you particularly focus on a week-to-week basis as a goalkeeper as you kind of work towards match day?
Different things. We don't have a particular setup. We focus on, so Tuesday nights we always have analysis or for the week for the week's game. So okay. We'll focus on the lads will analyse the games and focus on what areas we need to be at our best as goalkeepers. So whether it's crossing, whether it's like short stopping, whatever, and we'll work off that. So they'll set a plan together of what things we need to work on, whether it's they do a lot of cutbacks in the box, and we'll just focus on that. But it's pretty straightforward things. So it's just you're working on the things you've probably worked on for a lifetime, but you're just trying to make, I don't know, the margins a little bit more on your side.
Yeah, yeah. Is there particular elements that you enjoy working on more so than others?
I just love shot stopping. I love a big dive. I love a big save. I don't
Yeah,
think any keeper would not like a big save, to be honest with you.
yeah. Do you watch a lot of Premier League football as well, Championship football?
Yeah, more Premier League, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any goalkeeper that you kind of aspire, you kind of look at them and model your game maybe on? Is there any individual that you spend watching maybe more so than others?
It's probably going to be a bit obvious, but the likes of Tom Heaton and Nick
Yeah,
Pope, I've grown up watching them a lot as well.
yeah,
Over the years, being a big Burnley fan, I've watched more of their games live. So yeah, obviously their careers are amazing. And Nick
yeah,
Pope's just starting his career, but Tom Heaton has been
yeah.
amazing throughout.
Talk to me about Tom Heaton, because he come on the show. He become an endorsee for
Yeah,
AB1GK back end of last year. Talk to me. What was he like to watch as an individual? I've never seen him live. It's something I
you know,
desperately want to do. I've obviously seen him on
yeah.
the TV, but what is he like as a goalkeeper?
It's just this confidence, and the team, you can just see how confident the team are with him there. I remember when he was out for a long period of time. I can't remember what injury he had, but it was, what's he called? Man, Hart.
Yeah,
Joe Hart. How could I forget Joe
yeah,
Hart?
Joe, yeah,
Uh, Joe Hart had been in for quite a while because Tom Heaton had been out injured. And then the first game back with Tom Heaton in goal, the reception he got, and we'd had a bit of a not a bad period, but an unlucky period as a
yeah.
team. And getting Tom Heaton back in goal, he just seemed to add confidence to the team, and he's just unreal. He pulls a worldie out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, I
Every
loved it.
aspect of his game is just
Loved
incredible.
chatting to him. I absolutely
Yeah,
loved it, and the insight he gave us into like his pre-match preparation. For
yeah,
anyone that's not watched it, it's back here on Instagram on Catch Up, and the work that he does prior to match. He spends a lot of time just focusing on the game. He does his own work in his own space, and it's not training work, just literally all mental preparation. I found that really
yeah.
interesting.
There's a documentary, isn't there, on YouTube about it? I watched it the other week because we've been doing a lot of mental stuff, especially at the moment with everything that's going on and not being able to get on the pitch and stuff. But we've been looking at things like that, and I watched a bit of a documentary he's done on YouTube, and it's really insightful.
We need to get that up and share that. I'll get you to send me the link if you
Yeah,
find
yeah,
it,
would
if
it?
you could, and I'll share it for the guys on here, because I think that'd be really good to check in on and have a look at for sure. Yeah, and you've got a wonderful goalkeeper there at Burnley now in the first team as well, haven't you? Pope is
Yeah,
doing very well. He's going to be good, isn't he?
oh yeah, very much so.
I've got another question. I've got a few comments coming on. We spoke about training. Do you follow a certain routine? We've already answered that. With great potential, can you see yourself playing at a higher level, Laura?
I'd love to, whether that's with Burnley. I'd hope it would be with Burnley, because hopefully we'll be pushing for promotion when we get back playing. But yeah, I want to go as far as I can. I mean, I'm a little bit older in my career now. I know goalkeepers.
How old are you now?
I'm 32 now.
It's still young. It's still
Yeah,
young.
I mean,
Plenty of time.
goalkeepers, we can last forever, can goalkeepers?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah. So I want to push as far as I can possibly go.
Yeah.
Whether that's with Burnley, whether that's with somebody else, I'm not sure. But at the moment, I really want to focus on getting Burnley into the Championship and hopefully higher.
Is that the next step then for the club, is to go to the Championship?
Yeah, the next step is Championship. We're in the Women's National League at the moment, which is like the Northern Division. So the next step up is the Championship.
Brilliant. And how was it? Obviously, COVID's obviously stopped any games for you. How was it going pre-COVID?
It was a
Or
bit
pre
hit and
this
miss.
lockdown even?
Yeah, pre this lockdown. So we've won 3, lost 3, drawn 1. So it wasn't going great. but we've only played 7 games. We've got 22 games to play in total. So
Wow.
I mean, we've got games in hand as well. But if we won those games in hand, we'd go third. So really, it's not a bad place to be sitting at the
Yeah,
moment.
it's a good
Obviously,
place.
we could do better, which who can't. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's going all right.
There's a lot of games to play. So I guess it's like how that's put together the rest of the season and when there's a restart, I guess.
Yeah, I'm
And
not sure what's going to be happening, to be honest with you. I mean, whether it's same as last season and they nil and void it, or whether they try and get the games in. But I think everything has to be finished by the end of May, and it don't give us a long period of time.
no, not if you say we don't come out of lockdown till March. It's going to make it really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Really difficult. So let's talk about lockdown. What have you been up? Have you been up to keep yourself busy during lockdown? I believe you work as well, so football's
Yeah,
not your only job.
no.
So what do you do Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday, I work. So I work 8 till 4:30, 5-ish, and then with it's either walks, running, like hit training,
Yeah,
just a bit of something because it's been going dark early as well. So it's mainly stuff to do in the house, so a little bit of hit training.
yeah,
Matt B, our manager, has been putting workouts in our groups. We've been doing a lot of Zoom calls, whether that's analysing previous games, whether that's just doing stuff on the tactics board with Matt on the Zoom calls. We've got our own goalkeeper one, so we have projects to do throughout the week, in groups and individually. So I mean, it's keeping us very focused on football, but we're just missing that interaction with the actual team, like
yeah.
the doing, really, the actual training.
You're missing the interaction. Something that I'm finding really difficult at the minute is just not
Yeah,
seeing people regularly anymore, and it is
yeah,
really hard, isn't it? Especially if you're a team player and you're playing in a team, and all of a sudden you can't see your teammates. It makes it really hard, doesn't it?
yeah. It's really difficult. Yeah, that's. I think the first lockdown, we all realised how much we actually see each other per week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of time you spend with the team, probably more than anybody, except like say your work people. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I spend more time with the girls, especially at a weekend, than I do at home with anybody else.
Yeah. I guess with the travelling and everything as well.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's a Sunday, we set off early in the morning on away games, and we don't get back till late at night. Whether it's setting off at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're not getting back till 7, 8 o'clock at night in the evening.
Well, so it's a big commitment to what you're doing. Is it? There's
Oh,
a
huge commitment.
huge
Because
amount of
I
hours.
mean, we train like 6 till 10 on a Tuesday, Wednesday similar 8 till 10, Fridays 8 till 9:30, 10. Then Sundays is mainly home games is at like 12:30 till whenever, and the same again on away games. It's practically all day everything.
It's constant. And sort of any top tips that from sort of managing your body perspective, you're training that amount, which is more than say the average guys that come onto the show here. But so do you recovery? Is there anything specific you do?
Sorry, I lost you then.
So you were saying that you're training a lot, which is
Yeah.
a lot of the guys here do train a lot, but maybe not so much. Is there any sort of top tips you could give the guys for sort of what you might do during the week? Do you do any yoga, for instance? Is there any Pilates maybe? Is there anything you do to sort of help manage your body?
So Dom, my goalkeeper coach, he keeps going on at me to start doing yoga. I do
Yeah.
need to do it. I did Pilates actually for a bit, but I kind of stopped doing that. I've started doing stretch routines a lot.
Yeah.
It's just basic, but I keep saying, but now I'm getting a little bit older. I can tell when my body is hurting. I can tell
Yeah.
it's taking longer to recover, basically. So whether
Yeah.
that's like ice baths, foam rolling, just stretching, regular stretching. Yeah, just that really. Nothing major, but do you know, like the TENS machines and things like that, I put them on my shoulders a lot, and yeah, foam rolling a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it's really important, isn't it? It's really important to
Yeah.
manage your body now. And
Oh
So
yeah.
like you can tell the guys that really look after themselves. Like Asmir, whenever I speak to him, he eats well, but he trains well, and he just lives life in a way that you just manage the body. I always say to him, manage your body, and you just start looking after yourself, doing those extra stretching and stuff. It does pay dividends, doesn't it? You end up playing so many more games, don't you?
Yeah, you can stretch your career out just having the simple stretch routine. I
Mm.
didn't think about it when I was younger at all, but I wish I'd started like doing more stretching and things. And you got to make sure you do a proper warm up and a proper cool down. We have like the
Mm.
same warm up every single time we play. It's like game day ritual. This is the
Yeah,
warm up we're doing. This is the cool down we're doing. The warm up just sets you up for the entire game.
yeah. No,
You
it's
feel like you're
interesting.
not in the right mindset sometimes if you
Yeah,
haven't
no,
done that particular warm up.
yeah, so important, so important. It was good. It was good to touch on everything you've touched on. We touched on some brilliant bits this evening. Before you go, I want to talk to you about your gloves, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Tell the viewers what gloves you're wearing this season. What have you chosen from maybe one?
Oh, because you know what? These are my favourite gloves. I've got them here actually. The Neros.
The Nero,
Absolutely
the
love them.
Nero.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wonderful
Yeah.
gloves.
I have had the
Um,
Unos as well, but I prefer these. I've tried these. It's the grip's amazing. They've got, I mean, even punching in them, you can tell the difference.
hmm.
They're a negative fit, which I never really wore a negative fit. I was always a roll finger
I was going to
kind of
mention
girl.
that to you because you said earlier on that you sort of started off a roll fingers.
Yeah, I will
Um,
always roll fingers. But since I
yeah,
started wearing these, definitely a negative. They stretch up your arm a little bit more as well, so they protect your wrist a bit more. Well, I feel like that. I feel like I don't need to wear wrist straps.
yeah. With that extra strap round it, it does make the difference, doesn't it? It just gives that
Oh
little
yeah,
bit of a secure fit.
yeah, it really does. So I take my fingers, but I don't take my wrists anymore because I feel like they're secure enough with them.
Okay, awesome. What are they be like in you use them in wet and dry? Are they performing well in both conditions?
Yeah, and we train a lot on like artificial pitches, and they hold up a
Hmm.
lot because you find a lot of the gloves they wear quite easy, whereas
Yeah.
these they're holding up very well. I mean, I do have training gloves, warm up gloves, match day like game gloves, so I have like three pairs on the go at the same time. But
Hmm. Yeah.
probably a bit over the top.
No, not at all, not at
But one of
all.
my ritual.
No, I think it's really important. I think it's really
But
important.
yeah, they're really good gloves. They're the best I've ever worn. I'm not even just saying that, but
Thank you.
I really love these gloves. Yeah.
I thought they looked awesome. Angus Gunn had them on at the weekend for Stoke City, and he had his fluo yellow kit on, and it had the black with the neon to match
Yeah,
the kit, and it looked so good.
they do look
Um,
good.
but they do look the business. Oh, thank you for the nice feedback. It's really kind. I
No,
also
no.
want to thank you for coming on tonight because it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. So
No,
much.
thank you.
You passed on some really good knowledge to everybody. And what we will do is we'll host it here on Instagram on the TV section, so it will stay up. So anybody that's missed it, they can catch up on it. So we'll
Yeah.
leave it. We'll leave it up. So thank you for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Stay safe, and I will look forward to catching up with you soon. And we will be looking out for your results once
Oh,
we get back and going again.
yeah, you'll have to come to the game when we get going again.
Definitely, I will come along for sure. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
coming on
Thank
this
you.
evening.
All
Best
right.
wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Cheers. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. That was a brilliant interview. So a massive thank you to Lauren for joining us this evening. What a great insight into ladies football at Burnley FC and what she's up to. And there was so much information within those last 20 minutes and fantastic top tips for women and men because we're all playing in the same position. I've got a very special show tomorrow. If you missed the top of the show this evening, we have a special guest joining me tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. here on Instagram. Tim Keeps is a brand new endorsee for AB1, and he's going to be coming on the show tomorrow from all the way from Luxembourg. It's the first, I think it's probably the first European goalkeeper we've had on the Ask Martin show. So hope you can join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. and we'll catch you then. Thank you for watching.